Mark and I originally met when I was at school at UCLA, and Mark had come in and to talk to the football team and try to educate the football team on some particular issues that were important to him, and obviously most of those were NCAA related and how to kind of stay out of trouble. We saw some of the needs that were out there in the sporting world, especially with athletes, and as I went into the pros and continued to develop my career there, obviously there was more and more needs, and the biggest need was guys weren't educated, and guys weren't educated and they were making poor decisions. And Mark and I talked about, doing a book that would try to educate guys on that transition. How do you help these guys transition from college to the pros? And obviously Mark had a very successful book teaching high school students as they made that transition to college. So we said, man, this is a great platform that we can take and build from and continue to educate people. And we just kept that dialogue going, and now we realize we need to try to take it a step further. And that's why we developed the company of Insight.
There's nothing more disappointing than to have to talk to somebody that says, I wish I only knew then what I know now and what I would have done different. The sweet spot for learning about all these issues is when you're in college, because the way you enter the next level, the next step in your life, is going to determine whether you succeed on and off the field. And that's really where the more you have that foundation, the better prepared you are to handle the cast of characters, the financial and legal issues that are going to be put in front of you that few others will ever have to face.
All players in professional sports understand a game plan. If I'm going to go compete and I'm going to go play against an opponent, I'm going to have to spend hours and hours developing a game plan to succeed. Well, life is the same way. All of a sudden I'm just going to go into life and off the field and not have a game plan for my life. Well, then guess what? You're not going to succeed.
The only way that you can protect yourself from lining yourself up with bad advisors, bad agents, bad people is to really educate yourself about the issues. How does this world operate? And the more empowered you are by this knowledge, the more likely you are to be able to attract the ethical, competent advisors. And in doing so, because you're going to be knowledgeable about how this business works, you're going to repel those that would be more likely to take advantage of you.
Everybody wants you to invest in a business deal. Everybody's got the next burger shop. Everybody's got the next nightclub. Everybody's got the next widget that's everybody's gonna use, and they want you to put in all the capital to get it done. And that's a very difficult process too, and oftentimes players at a disadvantage in that situation as well, because you're going to have a great salesman. Everybody believes in their product. Everybody believes in their business plan. They think their business plan is going to succeed, and so they're going to sell you on that. And so how are you going to be able as an athlete to say, man, that's not a good business decision if you've never been in that situation? So that's one of the things we have to talk to these guys about, is about how do you get in these type of meetings or sit down and are able to say, you know what, let me defer before I try to put in all my money or write a check. Let's do some due diligence.
This business is not that complicated, and whatever we can do to make these issues more accessible and give athletes and their families a comfort level to compete in this area that they might not have a background.
We want to educate you, but all of a sudden you're not going to be able to make every financial decision. You're not going to become a genius in finance overnight. There's a reason why financial advisors and agents, there's a reason why they went to school and have studied for years to be able to be successful at the business. But again, it's trying, like Mark said, if I'm going to pay somebody, I need a return on that investment. I don't need that person to take advantage of me. So to get to that type of person and to bring that person onto your team, you have to do some due diligence and some homework.
Do you really want somebody taking your money out of your back pocket that you've worked so hard for because you're misinformed, uninformed, and aren't willing to take the time to figure out what game is being played? And so I think that oftentimes resonates more than, here's knowledge, here's power, go out and make good decisions.
And it's like, wow. I mean, there's so many guys that need, more information and need to be educated on so many different levels. So, and that's why we're striving to do that.